Hello everybody, this is Starman, and welcome back to Let's Play the Pandora Directive, Mission Street. Well, last time we had a run with the NSA, we had our box taken, and we're going to get it back. But first we're going to see what we just got faxed.
Well, looks like my suspicions were correct. Now I'll just have to find out why Horton was posing as the Black Arrow killer.
Yep, text I have on good authority, Dag Horton was an NSA agent. Duh, we knew that. And worked under a supervisor named Jackson Cross. We knew that. Neither agent was officially assigned to work in this part of the country. We did not know that. I'm betting they have a little something going on the side. I hope this information helps. Well, we kind of already knew that there was something screwy going around here, but that is something at least.
Looks like my suspicions were correct.
But first things first, we probably should call Regan and let her know that her dad is dead, if nothing else.
Well, I arrived safe and sound in Phoenix. It's almost as hot here as it was in your apartment the other day. Oh, I just called.
Okay, so no new messages.
Looks like Regan isn't home right now. I'll have to try later.
Alright. Well then. For want of anything better to do, let's go bug. Actually, first, let's go check out the warehouse.
When I get to the waterfront warehouse, I'm a little surprised to see it still standing. From the smell of wet ashes, I'd guess the fire department got here in a hurry. They probably took away the charred bodies of Malloy and those government agents. At least Malloy went quickly. With any luck, I'll find something useful in here. If anything survived the explosion, that is. That box looks like it's empty.
It also looks conspicuously movable, and hey, a bright piece of paper that somehow wasn't damaged by the water.
Here's a little tidbit our government boys missed.
And here's another bright piece of paper that somehow did not get soaked by the fire department.
Some names of Asian cities are printed on this piece of paper.
And what ho, another bright, colorful, dry piece of paper.
Well. The NSA didn't get all of Malloy's notes.
Alright, so we have a item 186 scrap.
I wonder what this item 186 is.
And flight schedule.
This flight schedule seems a little too exorbitant to be taken seriously.
And postal receipt.
According to this postal receipt, Malloy sent out 5 packages 9 days ago. I guess that tells me how many boxes I'm looking for. Well, looks like...
I got that already.
It appears the NSA overlooked Dr. Malloy's safe. How fortunate for me.
And, well, I'm half tempted to try to break the game to see if I can do something here, but since I am a good guy, I'm going to do the straight and narrow, not intentionally try and sequence break. Because what we were supposed to do is see this safe and go and retrieve a safe cracking tool from the friendly local electronic shop. Unfortunately, at the moment, I don't think I can afford to buy the friendly safe cracking tool because I've been responsible for paying off my bills. So first things first, we'll go and bug Mac real quick.
What can I do for you, Murphy?
Well...
Look, Mac, I need your help. I know Dag Horton was an NSA agent, but I gotta find out why he was posing as the Black Arrow killer. Now, this could be a matter of life and death. For me.
Come on, Murphy. You know they don't tell me anything. Especially not when the NSA is involved. I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Man, you gotta be able to figure out something to tell me.
Well, I do know one thing. I know where they took the body. It's down at the county forensics lab. Listen, I know the guy that runs the place. Maybe I can get you in and you can have a little time to take a look around. That's it. That's all I can do for you.
Well, maybe that'll be enough.
Alright. All we need is a shot. Although, morgue and police stations seem to be really far apart. You'd think morgue would be more centrally located, that's all I'm saying, but...
For the second time in a week, Mac comes through for me. Now, that's a new record for him. When I get to the morgue, the door's unlocked and the coroner has conveniently gone out for a long lunch. Nice tools. Ideal instruments to pull, poke, and prod. But I guess they don't get too many complaints.
And we will take a scalpel, because we can. What are the coroners looking at?
How I Did It by Victor Frankenstein. I get the feeling that evil experiments have been done here. Nice tools.
Fred's autopsy supply.
Nice calendar. Maybe I'll start shopping at Fred's.
I guess they do make those for every interest, don't they? And another little gag in here.
So, this is where Louis shops for his brains and eggs special. This label says Abby Eats. Abby Normal. I hope someone doesn't accidentally use this brain.
Yeah. We've got two Young Frankenstein references in one. Oh, and another little callback gag to the previous game.
It's Pug. I always wondered what happened to him after I tossed him out of my office. Counter cabinets look like... From the looks of these damaged craniums, I'd say these are the remains of Curly, Larry, and Moe.
Yeah, there's a couple of good gags here, just looking around.
This reminds me of one of my favorite songs. The hip bone connected to the leg bone. In case one of the cadavers starts playing with matches.
Oh, and a clean morgue is a safe morgue.
And a clean morgue is a happy morgue. Eye wash fountain. I'll bet eyes come from miles around to bathe in this fountain. G through I, and Horton starts with H.
Yeah, now of course we can't just
Looks
open
like
it.
it's locked.
And even though we know Tex has a lock-picking kit, because that's how he got into Malloy's warehouse, we have to use that scalpel as an impromptu lockpick.
File cabinet key. I'll bet Mr. Horton has something useful in his wallet.
I'll just bet.
This looks identical to the key I found in Horton's office.
And his wallet just happens to contain a useful security system key card. 773348. I think that's just what we need to do something useful.
Returning to Autotact after almost getting my head blown off the last time makes me a little nervous. There are no speeders parked outside, and a cautious look around leads me to believe the place is empty. At least for now. I better work fast.
Okay, so let's try the other filing cabinet.
Yeah, maybe the contents.
Alright, manila envelope. And that gives us 2 sheets of paper and a key. Okay, key says B17. From our desk of Jackson Cross for information 1091. And a BAK memorandum. Okay, March 4th, 2043, special assignment to Dag Horton, target A Wright, interrogated and eliminated. That'd be the guy up in the cabin. Target B Ellis, under surveillance, but not immediate priority. Target C Collins. It's imperative that you begin surveillance on target C immediately. The doctor has gone underground. All attempts to locate him have failed. Target C, as we've discussed, worked with the doctor, is the last person known to have had contact with him. In addition, I've acquired information on a target D, Emily Patterson. Target D is living at the Fuchsia Flamingo nightclub, 165 Chandler Avenue. I reasonably believe that the doctor may attempt to contact or relay information to Target D, so secondary surveillance is required. As we outlined previously, any contacts with targets C and D must follow the BAKMO. This is imperative. Once either target receives communication from the doctor, the target should be eliminated. Also, I must stress again the top secret nature of this assignment. Details should not be discussed with anyone, including other operatives. Okay, well...
I don't think anyone else is here, but I don't want to take any chances. Getting caught in here would not be good. Looks like I'll need to find a special card and passcode before I can open that door.
Alright, let's examine. That was 773348. Lucky for me, the NSA doesn't deactivate the codes of their immediately killed agents. And I'm just going to go ahead and save the game here real quick, because the last time I did a playthrough here, I had the game crash at this very point. And even though the game will let me restore almost immediately, if the game crashes, I'd rather not take any chances. So let's see, this is row B17. Use this here.
Hello, Box. We meet again.
And a good thing for us that he just happened to have the key to this locker before he got killed.
Ah, we meet again. This time, I'm not letting it out of my sweaty little hands.
But as long as we're here taking everything that isn't nailed down.
Probably cash from a drug bust.
Now, of course, this is not in keeping with my virtuous theme, since I'm taking money that is not mine by right. You know what? This is going toward a good and noble cause in the end. Plus, you know...
An NSA ID badge. I bet I could get in quite a bit of trouble with this little baby.
In this case, the good is outweighing the lawful end of things. Alright. And of course, we're going to need to detag all of this. So, open up. Use the cash from the locker in there. And the code that we had on Jackson Cross's paper was 1091. And the puzzle box was... Okay, demagnetized puzzle box. And with that done, we can safely walk out the door. Whoop. And back to the office. And can't really do anything with that yet.
NSA high security clearance badge.
Well, not bad for a day's work. So now, maybe I can call Regan.
Looks like Regan isn't home right now. I'll have to try later.
This is Lucia Purnell. I'm not at my desk right now, but if you leave your name and vid phone number, maybe I'll get back to you.
Have you had any luck recovering the box from the NSA?
Yeah, I got it, but I don't think the feds are too happy with me right now. You got a second to talk?
Certainly.
Okay. I think I may have missed something talking with him earlier, so since he's the one contact I've got left...
I admired Thomas Malloy greatly. He's one of the few men I've ever known who always did the right thing.
Let's see.
Project Blueprint was the name given to the military's analysis of the alien materials. I don't believe I have any additional information.
Well, I don't believe you told me anything about it in the first place.
Oh, yes, I know of him. He's a respected writer in the field of UFO studies. By all appearances, he's a reclusive man. Thomas had a daughter named Regan.
Yeah.
She was very young when I knew her in China. I can't say that this Regan Madsen is Thomas's daughter. There is nothing I can do to help you open the box. I can't place the name.
All right.
This was the newspaper in which I found a photo of Thomas Malloy. Sorry, I'm afraid the name is new to me.
Okay.
I can't place the...
Don't know her. And none of the rest of this is going to help us out. Well, since we have that money now, I think we can go ahead and pick up that safe cracking tool.
See anything you like?
Oh, what I could do with a straight line like that. Well, not really a straight line now, is it?
Ah, the Robco Comm Buster. If you need to find out a safe combination, this is the gadget for you. Attach it to the surface of a safe, then turn the dial. Ah.
Well, I hope my new purchase will help me out.
And while we're here...
Well, I hope my new purchase will help me out.
Yeah, I'll bet that this is the little trigger I have to go through in order to be able to make phone calls again. Alright, so... the... yeah, not much to look at there.
It appears the NSA overlooked Dr. Malloy's safe. How fortunate for me.
Okay, scanning safe ID, verifying safe ID, block type Everlock Classic Titanium. Some Everlock safe number sequences were mathematically hidden within the safe serial number. And from here, it's just a matter of running through all the numbers and finding the one to start with. Now I happen to remember that we start at 22, go to 31, go to 15, and then go to 7. And we find...
It's a scrap of paper with some hand-drawn diagrams on it. How nice. This looks like an old house key.
So we got an extra containment scrap.
This scrap refers to some sort of containment chamber with instructions on how to open it. This looks like an...
Okay. So with that done, now we can go and open up the closet here at Malloy's other apartment.
This paperback book's well worn. From the imprints on this page, I'd say Malloy was writing on the title page and then tore it out. Looks like Malloy might have been trying to make an anagram out of the title, "There Are Messages from Outer Space." Oh, a briefcase. This should be interesting.
this before?
This scrap refers to some sort of containment chamber with instructions on how to open it.
Let's see, Gate of the Sun photo.
This notebook must contain information on Malloy's work. I can't make out the writing. Looks like some sort of personal shorthand. I wonder. Maybe Regan could figure out some of her father's chicken scratch.
And that is probably the trigger that we needed in order to get a hold of Regan. Of course, they probably didn't expect you to go to Autotech before doing all this, but yeah, it's funny. Even without trying to sequence break, I still seem to be sequence breaking. Still fair of them to at least make sure you don't become incurably stuck. You can do that whole thing in the NSA to get the money, in case you did spend all of your money at this point.
Hello, Tex Murphy. Decide to take me up on my proposition?
We need to talk.
Sounds serious. When do you want to get together?
How about as soon as possible?
All right. There's a lounge here at the Imperial. Meet me in a half an hour.
And to the Imperial.
The Imperial is in the new city. Not too nice, but a few cuts above the Ritz. I walk into the lobby, then down a flight of stairs to the lounge. I'm not looking forward to telling Regan what happened to her father, but she deserves to know, and I'm gonna need her help. Thanks for the bourbon.
Is everything okay?
Tell me about your father.
My father worked for the military. I was born in China. I was raised there. We were really pretty close when I was younger, especially after my mother died. And then, we moved back here when he retired. Then he married that teenage gold digger. You know what I'm talking about. And, we had a little bit of a falling out. I just want to see him again.
I talked to your father last night.
You did? Where is he? I want to see him.
It's too late, Regan.
What do you mean?
NSA killed him. He almost got both of us last night. I'm sorry. Maybe I should come.
It's okay. You always knew they were going to get him. That's why he didn't want me to know about his work. That's why he sent all those boxes out.
I recovered something. See if it looks familiar to you.
Yes, it's my father's. I recognize his writing. But he wrote it all in his own personal shorthand. It's almost impossible for me to figure out.
Why don't you give it a try anyway? It's one of the leads I'm working on to see what your father was doing.
It's lucky the NSA didn't get this.
You think it's that important?
Yeah, I do. I remember a conversation he had with a man who said that if he could make a translation, it would be worth a fortune.
Maybe it's tied to the boxes.
I brought mine with me.
Yeah, I had one, but the NSA confiscated it. But I know somebody else who's got one.
Who?
Gordon Fitzpatrick.
Oh, God. Gordon Fitzpatrick. I haven't heard that name since I was a little kid. He used to work for my father.
Well, he's as anxious to recover the boxes as you are. In fact, he's paying my tab. I say we form a triple alliance. He's got more connections than either one of us have got.
Let's wait and see what happens. Here, take a look at this. My father made it when we were in Peking, and several others like it. He didn't show me how to open it, though.
How many of these are there?
Oh, 5, I think.
Look, why don't you let me take this and see if I can get it opened up?
I'm not sure I like that idea. I mean, you could open it up and find the others and take all the money for yourself.
Listen, Regan, you gotta trust me. You can't do this by yourself. Nobody can. You need my help, and I need your help.
I guess I don't have much choice, do I? Tex, don't run out on me. I already lost my father.
I won't.
All right. Well, with that done and 2 boxes retrieved, I think we can head back to our office and start doing some puzzling. Ooh, maybe that's a message from Chelsea.
Listen, Murphy, I've got a proposition for you. Give me a call when you get this.
Oh, heck.
Hey, Murphy.
Okay, what's the deal?
You followed up on the auto tech tip I gave you, right?
Yeah, turned out to be an NSA front.
But you got inside.
Not as far as you know.
Call it a hunch. Anyway, I need you to get something for me. It's a file with documentation on an NSA project called Operation Euphoria. It's kept in the NSA evidence room in the Autotech building.
I just left there.
Let's just say I've gotten to know some useful people. So what do you say? If you can get me the file, I'll trade you information or maybe something else. I've got access to anything you want. Just name it.
Well,
there is a favor you can do for me. You ever heard of a book called There Are Messages from Outer Space?
Sure. It's like a Bible for UFO nuts.
Well, I've got reason to believe that someone made an anagram out of the title. I need to find a computer program that'll check out all the possible anagrams.
Well, that's easy. I know the guy who does the anagrams down here at the paper. I'm sure he can take care of it. Might take a few days, though.
That's okay. Just get it as soon as you can. I'll see what I can do to retrieve the Operation Euphoria file. Anything else?
Yeah. My contact got me a pass key. I guess you'll need it to get to the file. I'll send it over by express courier.
All right. I'll let you know when I'm ready to make the swap.
all right.
Well, now that I got Purnell's key, at least getting into the locker at the NSA should be easy.
And somebody calling me again.
Hello there. I'm glad I caught you at home.
Let's see. Likewise, ray of sunshine, make conversation. I don't think that the conversations with Regan can jinx us with Chelsea, not so much as what's coming later. And if you watch the first 2 Let's Plays, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But let's just keep it business-like, make conversation.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't drop by in person, because my housekeeper's on the rampage again.
If I dropped by, I'd just mess up your apartment anyway.
So what'd you find out?
Well, not much. About the only thing I could figure out was toward the end of the notebook. There were quite a few references to OE, EW, and AE, but I'm not sure what they stand for.
Well, the E and the W could be directions or compass points, and the OE stands for Old English, but that doesn't seem very relevant. Whatever they mean, I get the feeling they're leading to something really big. Everyone and their dogs want to get their hands on your father's work.
As soon as we find out what these initials stand for, we'll be halfway to a fortune.
I don't know. Maybe your father was keeping this under wraps for good reason. When we find out what this is all about, we may decide that whatever he learned shouldn't be let out into circulation.
What are you talking about? That's why we're in this. For the money.
Look, your father wanted to keep this work away from the NSA, and I think that's an omen.
We won't sell it to them. We'll only sell the information to the right people.
What if it's not that simple? What if it's something that would be better locked up forever?
That's not an option. It was my father's work, so by rights it's mine now. You can have a piece of the action, or I can do it alone. Now I think you should give me back that box I gave you.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You don't have the right to keep it from me. It's mine.
That's not the point.
You're right, Tex. I'm being foolish and irresponsible. If there's nothing terrible about what we find, we'll make a lot of money and live happily ever after.
Let's keep our fingers crossed, but for now I just want you to sit tight. I have a feeling things are going to get a little sticky from now on. Those initials you found may refer to other people who received boxes from your father. I'll see what I can turn up. Give me a call if anything else occurs to you.
All right, Tex. I'll be here. Please be careful.
All right. So now, for the second time today, I need to go break back into an NSA hideout. At least I can skip right to the evidence room this time. And I'm going to go ahead and save here again.
Who knows what... Well, I hope this is what... This has to be what Purnell wanted me to find for her. She'll be so happy.
And we just live to make people happy, don't we? Alright, so now we can go back to our office and indulge in some quality puzzling.
Looks like the tiles on the top of the box can be moved around. Now if I can just find out what pattern they need to be in.
Now that does look somewhat familiar. In fact,
Well,
it looks
certainly
exactly...
an interesting design. I wonder what type of symbols these are.
So combine Malloy's tapestry with Regan's box. And it's time for everybody's favorite thing in the whole world, a sliding puzzle, or sliding tile puzzle. This one isn't really difficult, but it is kind of time consuming. The trick is that you have to get everything matched up in that pattern there. So the first step is getting the light blue symbol here. And then try and get this tan one up here with the reds matched together. Easy peasy, and then we have to get these 4 orange reverse L shapes together. Okay, then we need to get all the greens lined up on the left. And then get the blues next to them. And then we just have to get the brown and the purple and the gray right there.
Looks like a module of some sort and some small metal pegs.
Well, as noted before, it looks like we've got holes to fill on that. So we'll combine the pegs with the demagnetized puzzle box. And get two other items that kind of go together. The map and the flight schedule. And now we'll combine that, the demagnetized box and pegs, with that. Because this one puzzle might be the single most annoying one in the game, just because of the way it's laid out. And in my prep work for this, I did end up checking a playthrough FAQ on how the puzzle for this, and the trick to this one is not what you think, because they think it's like, well, the layout of this map here does not correspond to what's on the map, and it's not supposed to. The trick is that you look at the schedule and you figure out the rough line that connects the points, and then find the corresponding pattern on here, with all of them forming a final dot in the center. And you have to do it in a certain order. So the trick is we start with Calcutta, which is right there, and then it goes to Ermique, which is right there. And you'll note on this that the black dots are regular cities and the red dots are capital cities, which are marked with the star. So we need to find a mostly straight line that goes between, and that one is in fact supposed to be a straight line. So we start with Calcutta down here, and then go due north to Ermique. I think you say it that way. Then the second one is Bombay, India, which is non-capital city there, so we need one of these black circles. And it goes to Dhaka, which is almost directly across from it and is a capital city. So we want to start with that one there, and almost straight line there. Okay, apparently not. Actually, it's that one and that one. No. Maybe it's that one and that one. And again, you can see how this is kind of annoying, because you think, well, Calcutta, yeah, Bombay is that not black dot there, so it has to be one of the ones over here. And it's going to a capital, so it would be that one or that one. So we'll go Calcutta there and go there. That's the one. Then Kathmandu, Nepal, that's a capital, so you want the stars here. Going to Rangoon, which is down there, and it's a rather radical, so there'll be another star to another star. So that would go there. And yeah, this is simple trial and error, but if you're doing this on puzzle mode, it's kind of annoying. Okay, and then Madras, which is a not capital, going there to Bangkok. So that's, yeah, non-capital to Bangkok. That one is almost a straight line, so we'll go with that one to that one. Okay. Then Phnom Penh, which is that one there. Capital going to Beijing, which is a capital there. So we're looking for a capital to a capital, which, even though the line doesn't quite work, that's the only capital we've got. And then we've got Bandar, which is down there, which is another capital, and we only got one capital starting down below going north. So it'd be Bandar going to Hanoi, so capital to a capital there. And then we got Tokyo right there to Pyongyang, which would be another capital to a capital going there to there. The last one is Shanghai to, let's see, I say it, Guangzhou. So that one will be, let's see, where's Shanghai on the map? Oh yeah, it's here. So that one's going from Shanghai to there. So that one's going southwesterly. And then that leaves us with the dot in the middle.
This box contains a module similar to the one in the first box. There's also a slide. It's a slide with a picture of some strange object. But if Malloy put it in the box, it must be important.
So slide of power cell item 186.
I have no idea what this thing is, though it looks like a module made to connect with other pieces.
So yeah, got 2 out of the 5 pieces, it seems. But no other leads apart from the code that Regan gave us. So it's time to ask Mr. Fitzpatrick a few more questions.
What can I help you with?
I learned a few new things, and I'd like to run them by you.
By all means. A.E. I suppose that could refer to Archie Ellis. I believe he's the editor of the Cosmic Connection. I don't know who he is. No, I've heard of the book, but I've never read it. I believe he's the editor of the Cosmic Connection.
And we don't get any other information apart from that.
After Fitzpatrick hangs up, I realize I forgot to ask him for Ellis's phone number. I decided to check the directory, and surprisingly, Ellis's name is listed.
Alright. Now, thankfully, the game is pretty forgiving to you about this part. I never quite managed to get through it the first 2 times I played through this, so third time will be the charm, I hope.
Identify yourself.
Hobbit humor, power play, cut to the chase. Let's cut to the chase.
I'm a friend of Dr. Thomas Malloy.
Tell me your name and your connection to Dr. Malloy.
Name, rank, and serial number, mention the boxes, mention Malloy's work. Let's go with the work.
My name's Murphy. Dr. Malloy asked me to carry on his work involving hieroglyphics found in the Roswell spaceship.
If you have knowledge of the Roswell hieroglyphics, then you should know other details regarding alien studies. If you can answer several questions, I will agree to meet with you. Who was the author of There Are Messages from Space?
He who would meet the nerd of death must answer me these questions 3. Ere the nerd of death he see.
J.I. Thelwait?
Correct. What is the name of the site of the immense alien landing strips in Peru?
Kim Kardashian's ass.
The plain of Nazca.
Correct. Name the structure located at Tiahuanaco.
Tijuana? That's where the donkey shows are, isn't it?
The Gate of the Sun.
You have passed the test. Contact Archibald Ellis at 413 Vina Del Mar.
What an eccentric performance.
The sloppily painted sign 413 Vina Del Mar identifies the place as the Cosmic Connection. The display window is filled with charms, amulets, UFO books, and astrology charts. It doesn't look too promising. I open the door and step inside. An innocuous-looking little man is debating furiously with someone on the vidphone.
Look, extraterrestrial contact was made by the Russians throughout the 50s. It is well documented.
Wrong decade, Arch.
The aliens had to get rid of Kennedy before he exposed them, and LBJ was certainly under their control, if not actually one of them.
LBJ was a commie, mate.
Look, Larry, Vietnam was a ruse to divert the America's public attention and to throw our political system into chaos.
Cliche, cliche, cliche.
You know what, Larry? You're really beginning to get on my nerves here, okay? So why don't I call you back later? Goodbye. You always sneak up on people like that.
I'm a PI. It's what I get paid to do. Are you Ellis?
Yeah, that's right. You must be Murphy. Here's my card. You got one?
Darn it, I think I just handed out my last one.
Oh, okay. Well, you give me one later. So, you're a private eye, huh? Never met a private eye before. Hey, want some herbal tea?
No.
No? Oh, okay. So, you know Dr. Malloy?
I knew him. He's dead. The NSA murdered him.
Murdered him?
Actually, I think the NSA wanted to take him alive. So I gather from that the NSA wanted something from him. Now, you were with him recently. Do you have any idea what that'd be? Oh, do you mind?
Actually, I do.
So I guess this is the part where you tell me everything you know about Malloy.
I wasn't done with that yet.
Sorry.
You want me to start at the beginning?
Yeah, that's pretty standard.
Well, I publish a magazine called The Cosmic Connection. I'm sure you've heard of it. We feature investigative reports, interviews, anything concerning the supernatural, the ET, you know, anything like that. Anyway, one of my contacts in the field is a man by the name of Elijah Witt. Oh, he is a legend in the area of alien encounters. Anyway, a few months back, he set up an interview between Dr. Malloy and myself.
Did Witt say how he knew Malloy?
No, but I think that he, Witt, pulled some strings and got him, Malloy, a research lab at San Francisco Tech. Witt used to be a professor there, and,
Any idea what Malloy was doing at the research lab?
I don't really know, but he did use a strange term, the Pandora Device. I'm not really sure exactly what it means.
Pandora Device?
Well, yeah, he talks about the dark seed that was unleashed.
The what?
Well, something got loose, something alive. I mean, come on, there's been stories around for ages. Anyway, we talked about other things, you know, Roswell, of course. You know what? What you should probably do is read some books, and I can make some recommendations.
Oh, they have big pictures.
Let's see, I'm gonna start you with something light. Foucault's Pendulum. This is practically a manual on government conspiracies. And, let's see, Adrift in the Telluric Currents. Now, this is a little tougher read, but it's good. It's really good. And a must-read is The Fifth Column, okay, by Richard Eco. Now, this man, he was a prophet. I mean, he proved without reasonable doubt that we've been living amongst aliens for generations, and the government knows everything. I mean, it even hints that one of our presidents was a alien, if not at least half. You know, I won't tell you which president. I want to ruin the surprise for you. Anyway, it's all in there: crop circles, abductions, etc., etc. Look, if you want my advice, don't trust anybody, okay? I mean, I can sense you're on the level here, but most of the time, people, you just don't know. I mean, aliens are everywhere, man.
Hey, Archie. How do you know I'm not an alien?
Murph, you're so silly. Everyone knows aliens deny their own existence.
Well, I appreciate you letting me borrow these.
Sure, just take them home with you.
Could I ask you a few more questions?
Sure, that would be great.
All right, well.
Did Malloy send you a small box made of some strange metal? No apparent way of opening it up?
Well, actually he did, but it got stolen. That in the interview I did with Dr. Malloy. You know, I'm missing a stapler too and a few pens. I don't know if I misplaced them or...
So let me get this straight. You just let somebody waltz in here and take the box?
Well, no, actually I hid it, but whoever broke in, they knew exactly what they were looking for. The interview that I did with Dr. Malloy was on 2 separate discs. They only got the first one. You want to watch it? Sorry for the interruption, Doctor. This power cell, as you call it, could it be used to power these ships?
Hypothetically. But first, we'd have to get into the Roswell complex. And the military isn't about to roll out the red carpet.
Well, rumors have circulated for years about what really happened there. Would you care to shed some light on the incident?
Well, I can only tell you what I've heard. Among the various items recovered at the Roswell crash were several egg-shaped capsules stored inside a containment chamber. Now, no one could figure out how to open the capsules, so they faded into the background for years. Then the researchers figured out how to operate the accelerator. Apparently, someone used it on one of the capsules and something was released into the facility. And whatever it was, it killed off almost everyone in the complex before the military could quarantine the area.
And no one's been in the complex since then?
Not that I know of.
Thank you for your time, Doc. So, what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
Well, the stuff about Roswell was interesting. He didn't say anything about the Pandora Device.
Nope. So what are we gonna do now?
Well, I've got to find out more about the Pandora Device. Maybe I ought to contact Elijah Witt.
Ooh, I don't think that's a very good idea.
Why not?
Well, you see, Mr. Witt, you know, he's a personal friend of mine, but he's a very important, very private person. He doesn't like strangers. Too many wackos on the loose, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Archie.
All right, well, running through the list of new material.
There were strange designs on the box. They looked Mayan or Aztec. I told you what I know. I mean, by the name, I guess it's something powerful and something Dr. Malloy doesn't want to let loose. Well, I'm just one of the few people who realize that we are not alone in the universe. I mean, anyone who thinks otherwise is insane.
Listen, Archie, what can you tell me about this power cell?
Well, according to Malloy, there were 2 of them on the spacecraft recovered at Roswell. The research scientists decided that it was some sort of alien battery, and they tried to break one down. The other one was cataloged and stored somewhere in the Roswell complex. You think you're the first person who ever wanted to get in there? Heck, every UFOologist in the world would love to get in there and take a look around the complex.
So why don't they?
Well, look, first of all, it's secured. The military, they don't want anybody getting in there. It's only accessible with top-level security clearance.
Well, have you got any top-level security clearance?
Well, no.
Well, do you know where I can get some?
No.
Well, I guess I'm just wasting your time.
People say I'm crazy? Yeah, that's the pen name for Elijah Witt. He uses for his books. It's an anagram of his real name.
Duh.
Sure, I know about the book. You don't? I mean, I read it at least 100 times. Oh, the doctor was a really nice guy. I'm really sorry to hear that he's no longer on this Earth plane. You know, dead. Oh, Mr. Witt is a living legend in the UFOologist community. I would love to have him over for some herbal tea and conversation, but he's always busy. I guess I just have to be content with his books.
Not actually Jim J. Bullock, but an incredible simulation.
Well, as you can see, my shop here isn't just for anyone, but my magazine is written to be interesting and informative to all readers of all ages. Yeah, that's the code name for the research done at Roswell on the alien wreckage. I don't have any real good documentation on it. The government keeps a very tight lid on it.
And I think we have gotten everything useful that we can out of Archie.
Talking to Ellis was like entering the Twilight Zone. All this hocus-pocus about aliens and quarantines. And what's the story of the Pandora Device Ellis referred to? I wonder if it could be linked to the boxes Malloy sent out. One thing seems pretty clear. Malloy considered the power cell to be important to his work and was convinced that one was still hidden away inside the Roswell military complex.
And it's time for one more call to Fitzgerald. Or Fitzpatrick.
Good evening, Tex. You look as though you're on to something. What can I do for you?
Well, I had a little talk with Archie Ellis. It seems that Dr. Malloy was working on something called the Pandora Device, and I think it's connected to the boxes. I'd like to run some of these new developments by you. I need some information about the Roswell military complex.
What kind of information?
Well, I got one of the boxes open, and inside I found a picture of what I've been told is an alien power cell recovered from the UFO crash at Roswell. I think the power cell must tie in somehow with the Pandora Device. And apparently, the only place I'm going to find the power cell is inside the Roswell complex.
You intend to go to the Roswell military base?
Well, I don't see any way around it. That's why I called. I need to find a way in.
I don't think I can help you. My security clearance there is a thing of the long past.
Any suggestions?
The only people that would still have access to the base would be top military personnel, and perhaps the NSA.
Well, if that's all, I guess I better get ready to go.
If you're certain you must go to Roswell, there's one other thing that I should tell you. The military base is well camouflaged, and you could spend weeks trying to locate the site. I'll give you the coordinates. If you have connections to the NSA, that's where I'd go to get security clearance high enough to get into the Roswell military base. It's possible that the box that Mr. Ellis received was a blind meant to throw the NSA off track.
Yeah, in fact, if you do the math and take what Archie said about his box having Mayan symbols on the outside, you'll figure out that that box is the one that Regan had, which is another clue as to her eventually treacherous nature, apart from her, being greedy, deceptive, and only being interested in what she can get out of all of this.
The power cell was recovered from the site near Roswell. I believe he's the... Knowing Thomas, he wouldn't put all of his information in any one box. Maybe we need all of the boxes to create the Pandora Device.
And yeah, it's just a miracle of engineering that Thomas Malloy, who's apparently a linguist rather than an engineer, was able to have these boxes constructed and then build them to be adaptable to a power cell he only saw maybe a couple of times, assuming he ever saw it at all, and make this thing all backwards compatible and get some holographic engineer to build all of this based on his designs and descriptions or whatever. So, but hey, I'm not going to poke at the implausibility anymore. Just say that that's pretty darn miraculous.
Hey, got a second?
Yeah, blow her off. Sorry, I got a lady I'm waiting on.
Actually, I'm really in a hurry.
Oh, I'm sorry. If this is a bad time, just give me a call later. See ya.
Yep, to the curb.
Despite warnings from Ellis and Fitzpatrick, I'm bound for Roswell. Hopefully the alien power cell is somewhere in the Roswell military complex. I know that without it, I'll never find out Malloy's secret.
And with that, we move on to day 6. South by Southeast. Although we're actually going into the Southwest. Although it's southeast from us, but, well, it doesn't sound as dramatic to say South by Southwest.
The trip to Roswell takes about 4.5 hours, giving me plenty of time to think. Something's bothering me from the last time I went to the Cosmic Connection. And it hits me. A black Avatar speeder was parked down the street. Could have been the NSA. A voice in the back of my head keeps telling me that Archie Ellis is in danger. Or is it that they're just keeping tabs on me? Eventually, I locate the military base, and using the NSA ID badge I found at Autotech, I'm able to get into the complex. The area is still running various security systems, but the place is totally abandoned, at least by humans.
Yeah, better close the door, Tex. You don't want the aliens hijacking your speeder. Alright, well, we are here in a little bunker at Roswell, and this is where we are going to stop for this time. Next time, we will continue into the bowels of the Roswell Alien Research Center. We'll see you then.